Naša Promicina. I was born in St. Petersburg, Russia in 1990, so that was still the Soviet Union actually, and then my family moved around a lot when I was younger, and we lived in the Netherlands, in England, and finally we lived in Oregon and then settled down in Texas. Austin, Texas, where my family lives now.
Okay.
I came to DC to go to Georgetown to school here, yeah, in 2000.
Theon O'Connor. I grew up in Jamaica. I actually still live in Jamaica. I came to DC for university. I attend Georgetown University. Mainly, I have a track scholarship to Georgetown, and I figured that growing up in Jamaica, I always wanted a change the society, and so I decided to come to the United States and get a feel of what it's like.
I was born in Washington, D.C., so I was initially born in the East Coast. I grew up in Virginia. About a year or two after I was born, after already having lived in Virginia. That's where I grew up, moved 3 times there, and then when I was 7 years old, I moved to Madrid, Spain.
The biggest transition has to be coming from pretty much a medium-sized city in Texas to a real like the capital of the United States. The way people here interact and the culture here is completely different, and just the speed of life is a lot faster, and people just interact just so differently. It's hard to describe the differences unless you live them, but really it's like a whole nother country here.
There were a few things that were pretty different from back home. Mainly, especially in sporting activities, in Jamaica, track and field and soccer, what we call football, is the main attraction or main sports in Jamaica. And you come here, it's mostly basketball and football, as in NFL,
yeah, American
football, kind of American football thing. So that was kind of a little bit of a change, from what I'm used to in Jamaica. One thing I can definitely say I didn't really translate was, I guess, the time factor. Firstly, Jamaicans are generally late to things for one reason or another. A party begins at 10, nobody reaches before 1. At dinner, a group of people are meeting for dinner at 5. They're not going to turn up until 5:36. That kind of thing. Yeah. Coming here was a bit different. Knowing that when I just came in, I was late for a few things that I should have been on time for. For example, practice. And I guess that's because in Jamaica, I went to practice. I left for practice at the time that practice was supposed to begin. And it wasn't necessarily a big problem at the time, but coming here, you have to basically reach everywhere early. And not even on time, but you have to be there a minute or 2 before time.
Oddly enough, it wasn't too much of a difference. Fortunately, in Mexico State, we weren't allowed to wander around too much because of the crime and the drug cartels that were getting worse and worse. I didn't leave the house much, so I really just went from point A to point B, which was school, back home, and maybe the embassy sometimes. And at the academy, we had we still have a
Okay.
Come on, come on. I see no changes. Wake up in the morning.